Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance, and growth.
What's up, guys? It's Mr. Fit to Flourish, and today I wanted to talk about isekai. You might be like, yo, what the heck? What is this dude talking about? So I'm basically talking about how to level up or how to completely change your life. Okay. So what is isekai? So from my understanding and what I know, isekais are these Japanese animes where the protagonist is placed in a different world, and a lot of the time it's because they have died. Okay, they died and became a new version of themselves, where a lot of the time they have memories of their old life, but they're no longer that person. So why do I want to talk about that today? What does it have to do with anything? Well, if you read a lot of like spiritual texts or esoteric texts or texts from like BC, whatever, a lot of these texts talk about killing the old version of you or killing the old you and becoming a new version. And one of the biggest verses in the Bible is Romans 12 verses 2, and it says, "Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." And that's exactly what it means. It's like it's like a phoenix. Okay. A phoenix is a bird. It dies and it rises from the ashes, a new version of itself, a better version of itself. Okay. And that's all that life is about. Sometimes you got to kill the old you. So let's jump into that a little bit deeper. What is an isekai? So an isekai is a subgenre of fiction, and it includes like manga, animes, etc., and it revolves around a displaced person or people who are transported to and have to survive in another world. And it's usually like a parallel universe or a world that has monsters and stuff, where the world they came from was just a standard world like our world, right? And it's one of the most popular genres of anime, and the plot allows the audience to learn about the new world at the same pace as the protagonist. And the protagonist usually is more powerful in this second life and embarks on a journey that allows them to become extremely powerful. Okay, so what does it have to do with anything? Again, you're probably in this place where you're stuck. You're if you're a guy, you're like probably not getting any girls. You're eating like shit. You're freaking in a job you don't like. You're just nowhere where you want to be. You're nowhere where you want to be. So you're currently the old you. You're currently in the storyline of the old you. So you haven't gone through the isekai yet. You haven't gone through the death. Okay. You probably don't have any tattoos. You probably always wanted tattoos. You probably wanted like a chain or some earrings or something. I don't know. All right. You wanted a beard. You don't have a beard. You're probably still the old you. And this is the you before the glow up. Okay. The you before the glow up. Now, what you need to do is you need to imagine what the highest version of yourself looks like. Okay. What do they look like? How does it feel to be that highest version of yourself? What are you doing? Who are you with on a day-to-day basis? Okay. I talk about this a lot in a lot of my other videos. But essentially, it's an isekai. And my brother just put me on anime. And he's like, hey, man, you need to watch these animes, specifically the ones that are isekais. And I love Japanese animes because they're not just these kind of like American cartoons where they're just like entertainment, don't learn. It's like entertainment, growth, gems, learn from this. And I'm like, dang, a lot of these animes are teaching you these lessons kind of like a parable. Okay, they're literally like Bible stories, and they're put into cartoons. But what's happening in these isekais is usually the character is like some loser guy who is a nerd, or he's fat and out of shape, and he keeps losing, or he can't join like an adventurers guild, which is basically a place where you join and you fight monsters. Like, they can't join because they're too weak. Okay. Before they do anything, they need to level up. But their life is horrible. So then in the isekais, they physically die. But in reality, we can change who we are just by transforming our mind, okay? Changing our mindset and really diving into a set path. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But what happens in these animes is the guy's a loser. He probably has glasses. They're fat, out of shape. Their parents hate them. Everyone at school makes fun of them. They're just not where they want to be, okay? And in the animes, they physically die. So sometimes they get killed by truck-kun. So that's basically when a truck comes by and just like hits them. Or they get defeated by an overpowered monster because they're just not powerful. They're just lame, for lack of better words. So they die. And then they wake up in a new world, in the second life. And all of a sudden, either they're a baby, which is really cool because you get to see them grow up, or they're a different person, and the person has the powers of like the strongest like mage, or so magician, or the strongest person in that universe. And they willed that into existence with their mind, with thought. Okay? And they don't say that in the animes, but it's really what's happening. They want it. Okay? They want it. They will it into existence with their mind. And that's the same thing that you can do. But anyways, they get into this new world and they get the girls, they get the school they wanted to go to, the family that they wanted. They just start talking as if they're that person. And everyone's like, dang, that person's bold. And they think back to their old life like, hey, why wasn't I doing that back then? All they had to do was be the person now. Nothing changed except the body that they're in. And yeah, they might be overpowering, but that doesn't mean that they're always using their powers. They were talking differently. Okay, they would say things to girls or say things to other people that would make them like them. And literally nothing changed except where they were. And their mind was still pretty much the same, but they willed it into existence. Anyways, getting back to that Bible verse, Romans 12 verses 2. Do not conform to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So every day is a new day. That's why the sun goes up, it comes down. The moon goes around and around. We get a full moon sometimes. We have these cycles, okay? We have these cycles that exist. And these cycles are a reminder that, hey, you're in this simulation or you're in this place where there's a ton of opportunity. This is how we're going to measure time. But at the same time, every day is a new day. Every cycle is a new death. Every cycle is a new birth. Okay? It's like yin and yang, deaths, births, deaths, births. So what you need to do to get to that next level or to get to become who you want to be is you need to kill the old you. How do you do that? You got to start thinking different. Well, how do you think different? You can't think different unless you're being stimulated by something that is new. So as long as you keep scrolling on TikTok, and as long as you go to Instagram every day and check your Instagram, check your TikTok, you're going to be thinking the same thing. Oh, look at this trend. Oh, look at this dance. Football. Oh, basketball. Big booties. Like, oh, let me go to the hub. You're going to be thinking the same thing every day as long as you do the same thing every day. So how do you change your mind? Well, start reading these books. Neville Goddard, Florence Scovel Shinn, Dr. Deepak Chopra. These three authors alone will open up your mind. Read The Kybalion. You got to start reading. In order to get a different output, you have to have a different input. You can't keep watching Family Guy or Rick and Morty. These ridiculous shows that are just purely entertainment. They'll dumb you down. Well, you want to look better? Hey, you want a different output? We need a different input. We need high protein. We need a lot of water every single day. None of it. Don't ever turn it. I don't, man. If I'm driving, I'm not turning into a fast food place. And you could not stab me with a knife and tell me, hey, your life depends on it. Go to fast food. I'm not eating fast food ever. That stuff is disgusting. Okay. I'm no fast food. No fast food, high protein, veggies, man, all that good stuff. You want a different output, you need a different input. But ancient texts tell you that this life is like it's not the end. It's not the end. And I know you may be going through it. Trust me, I've been through it. I know people who are going through it. But you always have the choice to kill the old you, and become a new version of yourself. And it's hard because guess what? People aren't going to recognize you. All right, your old friends, they're going to be like, "Oh, don't you want to come smoke weed with me?" Like, "Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go." And you're going to be like, "I don't do that anymore. That's not me." They're going to be like, "What?" And it's going to destroy relationships. Your family might be like, "Hey, let's go drink. We always drink every single day. Let's destroy our livers." And you'd be like, "Hey, it's not me anymore." And then your family's like, "What?" Your friends might be like, "Hey, let's go spend our paychecks at the club. Let's buy these bottles and be broke every day." And you're like, "Hey, that's not me." And like, "What?" But the death of the old you has to happen in order to get to that next level. To get to that next level, you have to surrender to the version of yourself that you want to be. You have to. You have to let go of a lot of things, and it's gonna hurt. But it's gonna hurt even more. What's gonna hurt even more is that regret. That regret that you're gonna have of when you're on your deathbed and you're like, "Dang, like I could have been the best version, or I could have done this, I could have done that." But you never gave up your old habits. You never gave up your old habits. That's like if you went into a video game and you know for a fact there's 40 levels in the video game. There's 40 levels. And you were on level 1. And you just decided never to go to the end of the level to fight the monster. You just ran around in the streets and you just kept fighting like the easy stuff. You don't get any points for that. Just fighting the easy stuff. You never go face the monster at the end to get to level 2. You never find out what's on the other side of level 1. That's what it's like. You're just staying there. You're never going to discover the new version of yourself. So, and that's what I did. Okay. I always thought like, man, what does the best version of myself look like? I know I'm probably going to lose family members or friends. People are going to think I look crazy. But you got to do it for you. You got to do it for you. At the end of the day, you're the only person in that casket. At the end of the day, nobody's going to remember. Nobody's going to remember. But if you create a lasting impact on the lives of others, and more importantly, if you create a lasting impact on yourself, you'll be able to do that for others. First, you need to be able to help yourself before you can help others. And if you feel good, it's going to be because you're the best version of yourself, where you know you're doing your best. And then you're going to feel good about it. And only then are you going to act in a way such that is magnetic to others. You're going to get what you want. You're going to feel abundant. Okay? So really, that's what I wanted to talk about today is, hey, the isekai. And in Japan, and in Japanese anime, they portray it really well. Becoming that overpowering version of yourself by killing the old you. And it doesn't take a physical death. Literally, it's a mental death. It's really shutting out all the other things that you've been paying attention to, cutting that out, and tapping in to the things that you know will benefit you. Reading the books, watching the videos on growth, taking the steps, going to the gym, eating the things you know you need to be eating. I promise you, you're going to start to look different. Your skin's going to be different. You won't need all these skin products. You won't need all these medications. You're going to feel different. And when you feel different, you're going to create different chemicals in your body that are going to transform the way that you look. Evolution happens because of that. Because of how an animal feels. If it's cold, the animal is going to feel such a way that it's going to cause mutations. The cells are going to just readily change, and it's going to create what they need to in order to survive. As long as you're in that fight state, you're always scared, you're always angry, your body is going to be sick and you're not going to be well enough to perform. But if you're abundant, if you're putting the right things into your body, you're thinking in the right manner, you're going to be leveling up the whole time. I'm telling you, you're going to look different, feel different. So for me personally, I knew I needed to kill the old me. I was stuck in a mindset of, hey, I'm going to have that 9 to 5 and I'm just going to be chilling. I'm going to eat, go to the clubs, spend all my money, hang around with the wrong group of people, do these things, smoke that, drink this, and it was just downhill. It was just downhill. And I knew the version of myself that I wanted to be. What did that look like? Well, for me personally, I was like, hey, I didn't have a beard. Hey, let me get that beard. Let me get that beard going. Hey, my teeth weren't straight. I got my teeth fixed. Okay. I was never really lined up. I'm lined up. Got a little bit of bling, Got the yats, some people call it the never mind. That's a topic for another day. Make sure I'm somewhat presentable, somewhat clean. Okay? But overall, my appearance definitely looks different from what I looked like a while ago. My thought process, definitely different. Consistently putting out videos. I don't care what people think. I know that I'm having an impact on a lot of people's lives. A lot of people are tuning into the videos, whether it's trading, whether it's leveling up, and they're saying, hey, your videos have really helped me, or hey, this has changed my mindset. And that's what we're here to do, changing your mindset, because once you change your mindset, you can change your reality. It's not the other way around. People keep thinking like, oh, once I get that Lambo, then I'll be happy. No. Once you're happy, then you'll get the Lambo. And people don't realize this. Everyone has it backwards. But until you die to the old you won't realize that, because you'll never leave that space. You'll always be in that space. You won't ever come into the space where actually wealthy people are. And the wealthy people are waiting for you. They're like, yo, I want to help this guy fit. I want to help him. But his mindset's just not there. I don't want to associate with that because they're on such a low level. But until they realize, and until they develop, until they isekai, until they die to the old them and become the new version, then they'll be ready to think about these things or to interact with these people. Anyways, super deep video. We can go into it deeper another day, but you need to be like a Japanese anime, like an isekai. You need to let go of the old you, the old version of yourself, and step in to that life that you've always wanted. Yes, it's going to be different. Yes, you're going to be in different places, meet new people, but that's what life is about. You don't want to stay on level 1 out of 40 on this video game, messing around. You'll never learn what's on level 2. So go face that monster. Go face the boss at the end of level 1 and find out. It's Mr. Fit to Flourish, your boy, and I'm out.
Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance, and growth.